for today's cup of coffee. Leo King had said all this energy that we're going through right now. He did say it was going to be intense until next Wednesday, and it's yeah.
I'm over it.
I've been over it. Over it, under it, around it, through it. I just want it,
I just want to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's
it
why.
It ain't going to happen.
Maybe that's why I've been sleeping a lot lately.
It ain't going to happen. I laid down for a nap and I had some weird dreams.
Yeah, I've been having weird dreams too.
It's like at one point somebody was like resurrecting from under the ground. But it wasn't like zombie type thing.
Did you hit them with the shovel and be like, no, lay down?
No, I did not. But it was just like, I dream in color. You dream in color. I've heard that some people
Who does not dream in color?
I've heard that some people don't.
Mine's in vivid color.
Oh, yeah.
Mine's like, you can clearly tell.
I mean, I could actually mix the yellowish, sallow color of the person that had raised up from the earth. But what was weird,
I can tell you the color of the weird worm baby thing.
Yeah.
The weird worm clay baby thing. It was like a peachy.
Yeah. But this one, it was interesting because the way that the soil was almost like potting soil consistency. So it wasn't like, even though he was supposed to have been buried for a while.
Like freshly dumped potting soil?
Sort of, but it wasn't that color. It was the color of earth that has been sitting for a minute.
Okay.
So I can tell you that. Anyhow, it was weird. Makes me not want to go sleep for the next days. So
fuck that. Even if I wear dreams, I'm like, no, I'm going to go to sleep.
Well, it's not like I have a choice on a lot of it. It's either sleep or file over somewhere.
Sleep or pass out.
Yeah. So I have found, I was talking about wanting a
sleep or die
schematic, sort of. This is not that, but it does have several of the offshoots of MK Ultra, and some of them, the world is so bizarre right now. You never know whether these things are real, whether somebody is sitting in their basement huddled over the computer making this shit up.
Sounds like most of them.
I don't know. I think some of them, the more bizarre that they are,
the more likely
they are. Absolutely.
The more likely they're in the basement.
Yes. And so I do have coffee with me today, and we'll be taking coffee slurps.
Coffee sniffs.
If I could have an IV pole, that would be wonderful. That's coffee drip.
You would not be able to live.
Anyhow,
your heart would just stop immediately. I'm surprised you're not 99% coffee at this point.
You say that like it's a bad thing. It's a basic food group for some of us.
Not.
It is an essential food group.
It is not.
Trust me, it is.
No.
I was trying to look and see what, I don't know, it's like all net journal description, MK Ultra, pro freedom for all, UK.
What?
.com UK skeletons.
Use English, ass monkey.
I will put the link in the description box. So there's no specific website that this comes from, is what I'm saying. Okay. It's just one of those random, here it is, it's on the internet. And it's from 92 as far as the actual information. And this is by Sid Taylor. It is a history of secret CIA mind control research, and it's an article from Nexus Magazine, April/May of 1992. See, that's when you get into the, really good stuff.
From the 90s.
On the conspiracy theories. Theories. Yeah. Trust the theories.
Trust the theories. No!
So this is, like I said, the Skeletons in the Closet Part 2. I don't know where Part 1 was. That's a separate thing. It didn't have a link that I saw. But anyhow, these are some of the 150 branches off of MK Ultra.
Mm-hmm.
There was supposed to be a website that did list them.
But it's gone.
It was a 404.
RIP. R.I.P.
They got them. They got it. They. Yeah. Some of this, as far as the poking fun, is tongue in cheek, because is it real or is it Memorex? I don't know.
Memorex.
So
the CD, the burnable CDs.
Is it live or is it Memorex? Subproject 68. And this was an ongoing attempt to establish lasting effects in a patient's behavior using a combination of particularly intensive electroshock, intensive repetition of prearranged verbal signals, partial sensory isolation, and repression of the driving period carried out by induced continuous sleep for 7 to 10 days at the end of the treatment period. During the research on sensory deprivation, Cameron experienced, he was one of the Dr. Cameron, whoever he was, or Cameron.
Okay. Cameroon!
Experimented with the use of curare. Curare is pretty cool. That was the stuff that was from the poisonous frogs there in the Amazon that they had, and then they would tip the blow darts in that, and then, that was where they shot the monkeys out of the trees. They shot intruders in the forest. All different things.
You want to go shoot monkeys?
Seriously.
You want to go shoot a monkey?
I was kind of disappointed that some of the poison tree frogs here in the country that you can find, they're not, they don't have their native diet, so they're called poison tree frogs, but you cannot extract the curare from them.
Okay.
In case somebody's wondering,
so they're just deadly, period.
No, they're not over here a lot of times. In the Amazon, they are. I wondered if you could not collect and crush granddaddies, and because they're venomous, they just can't bite.
Why would you want to?
And if you could dip an arrow in that, and if that would become poisonous. Yes. That's an experiment. I mean, seriously.
I ain't gonna try that on shit.
I'm just wondering. I'm curious.
Knowing my dumbass, I'd be the one to get hit.
Yeah, you probably cut yourself while you're trying to dip the arrow.
Yeah.
All right. Anyhow, the curare.
Oh, Clay said, what happened there? Oh, he cut himself with an arrow that was dipped in.
It's like don't play with curare.
Daddy venom.
Anyhow, this is also immobilizes is what it does. And after one test, he noted, quote, this is Dr. Cameron, whatever, although the patient was prepared by both prolonged sensory isolation, 35 days, and by repeated depattering, and although she received 101 days of positive driving, that must be as far as messages and stuff, no favorable results were obtained. Well, after that much, I'd say she was batshit crazy.
Probably.
Because sensory deprivation and stuff like that, now, people don't last long with that.
No.
Patients were regularly treated with hallucinogenic drugs, long periods in the sleep room, and testing in the radiotelemetry laboratory.
I love that.
And here the patients were exposed to a range of RF and electromagnetic signals and monitored for changes in behavior. It was later stated by other staff members who had worked at the Institute that not one patient sent to the radiotelemetry lab showed any signs of improvement afterwards.
Okay.
Well, the hell, that was what they were trying. I guess that was mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like they were... You can't undo some of these things.
No.
Coffee slurp. So you could tell them that while there was a pause, so you could tell them that. All right, subproject 3. A project designed to assess the use of sexual entrapment in covert operations. This is one we've alluded to. This is the one that officially became known as Operation Midnight Climax. And this was included in the operation where attempts by CIA agents to infiltrate public gatherings such as cocktail parties where unsuspecting guests were sprayed with LSD in canisters variously labeled as insect repellent, deodorant, and perfume. Seems like I honestly have, and maybe I watched too many James Bond films as a kid.
Yeah, that was in one of them, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, was James Bond soft disclosure?
Oh my God.
You never know. You never know. And it's like...
It's not like the CIA is the only people that think of this shit.
No, no, they don't. KGB did a lot of that. There's other groups and stuff. Those are just the
there are day-to-day... There are people like us who think about this shit.
They think about it, but these other ones do it.
Okay, but somebody had to think about it.
Yeah, but
somebody had to come up with the idea.
But the time that it makes it to movies and stuff like that, do I think that it's a form of soft disclosure? A lot of times, I do. I'm waiting for my tinfoil hat. I haven't looked yet on Amazon. I really need to.
We got tinfoil in the kitchen. We're going to make you some.
We do. Then there was MK Delta. This operation focused on the interrogation of people who were suspected of being foreign agents spying upon U.S. installations, or Native Americans suspected of being foreign agents. Much of the testing was conducted off the American mainland in CIA safe houses and American-occupied war zones.
What?
If your coughing is caused by that vape, put that damn thing down.
I was coughing before.
Yeah, I thought that one was kind of
What? That
odd.
is such bull... Oh my God.
I told you it was odd. Operation Mindbender.
Native American... Leave the fucking indigenous people alone.
Hey, during World War II, there was... I think he was maybe Navajo or whatever.
Uh-huh.
As far as that... He was able to produce a code through the Navajo language. If I'm incorrect on that, someone please, gently correct me in the comment box. That the Germans and some of the other ones could not break the code because they did not understand the Navajo language, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That was just really cool. All right, we had Operation Mindbender. Who names these? I want to name some of these.
Operation Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, I bet you that's something. I bet you that probably is a something.
Uh-huh.
Anyhow, Mindbender was a covert operation conducted in Mexico City that involved the use of undercover hypnotherapists to determine whether an unsuspecting victim could be influenced by a combination of drugs and hypnosis into becoming an assassin who would carry out an order to kill after being triggered into action by a pre-programmed signal.
Wonderful.
Now, I think with the Manchurian Candidate that it was a matter of a word, that you had trigger words or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So maybe this was before one of the other ones. You had MK Search. And this operation included over a dozen sub-projects. So this is like branches off of the branches off of the branches. So the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. No kidding.
Subgenres.
Yeah.
Goth.
Most were a continuation of projects conducted under MK Ultra, and some were to be conducted in CIA safe houses. My God, it has been a week. Safe houses set aside in a number of American cities, including Washington, New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. The intention was to use them as locations where expendables, that is a subject who might die but whose disappearance was unlikely to arouse suspicion. I think there's a lot of us that fall into that category. That they could be tested under full medical supervision.
Am I suspicious for shoving tissues up my nose?
Yes. Other sub-projects concentrated specifically on exploiting human weaknesses and destabilizing personalities. One operation was researching microorganisms with the capacity to kill. The work was carried out by two separate laboratories who were unaware of each other's activities. One was a private research facility in Baltimore. The other was at the Army Biological Laboratory at Fort Detrick, which had been running an operation since May of 1952, known as MK Naomi. And they were trying to produce a chemical that could fake suicide.
What?
Yep. And then at Mount Sinai Hospital, an immunologist was allocated $85,000. Now, this is 1952. That was big monies back then.
Yeah.
And was told
$85,000 ain't much.
And was told that the agency wanted experiments done on disturbance of memory. Now, that's one of the ones I am working on still, because some of these, if you focus totally on any specific one of these, you can find a vast amount of information on some of them. On some of them, not so much. They wanted disturbance by aberrant behavior, changes in sex patterns, suggestibility, and the creation of dependence to be used in obtaining information. I emphasize certain words because those who know will know.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of speaking without speaking.
Yeah. That's why I just, like, at this point, I just sigh.
Yeah, well, I think it's all of us. That's a matter of just soul weariness. For real. It's just world weary. Operation Big City. In their search for a chemical material which could cause a reversible, non-toxic, aberrant mental state, the specific nature of which could be reasonably well predicted for each individual, Operation Big City was launched. A 1953 Mercury car was modified so that its exhaust pipe extended 18 inches beyond its normal length. Now, it looks like somebody would have noticed that.
Yeah. You would think, but I guess not.
Anyhow, the car was then driven a total of 80 miles around New York, emitting a gas to test its effect on passersby. In another test, operatives traveled to New York subway with battery-powered emission equipment fitted into suitcases to see if LSD could be sprayed in confined areas and affect people. The operators wore nasal filters. Well, I would hope they would.
Yeah.
In San Francisco, a biological gas was released off the Golden Gate Bridge with the intention of covering the city and monitoring the gas's disorienting effects. It blew away before it could cause any harm.
No shit.
It's San Francisco. Don't they have winds all the time?
Yes.
So that was pretty funny. In 1957, the CIA Inspector General, and that was Kirkpatrick, issued an internal memo which stated that precautions must be taken not only to protect the operations from exposure to enemy forces, but also to conceal these activities from the American public in general. The knowledge that the agency is engaging in unethical and illicit activities would have serious repercussions in political and diplomatic circles and would be detrimental to the accomplishment of its mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got a little bit better at their propaganda.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Especially since it was made legal. You've got Operation Resurrection.
How the hell did that even happen? Like, it become legal?
Go back and look at one of our previous videos. It discussed that. I think it was Operation Mockingbird. It talked about how all this stuff was made legal in 2017.
I was hoping that you would give a little bit of a thing for the audience. I knew what it was, but you know.
Go back and watch our video about Operation Mockingbird. Yeah. We done that one.
It's a good video. Y'all should watch it.
I think a lot of these have been pretty cool. All right, Operation Resurrection. Now this one's kind of rough to talk about because it's just rough to talk about. That they used apes, and they were subjected to cruel combinations of treatments. After first being lobotomized, the animals were kept in total isolation. The radio telemetry techniques developed earlier by Rubinstein were adapted so that radio frequency energy could be beamed into the brains of the highly disturbed animals. Many of them were then decapitated, and their heads, trying to transplant them onto another body to see if the RF energy would bring them back to life. The apes that were not killed in this way were later bombarded with radio waves until they fell unconscious. Autopsies revealed that their brain tissue had literally been fried. These experiments were conducted around 65, 66, so it is a frightening reality that around 25 years later, since this was written, intelligence agencies covertly started experimenting with the first radiated energy to control behavior.
That is horrible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all this stuff. Well, in Russia, we had already talked way back when about them trying to transplant the dogs' heads.
Yeah, that is true.
They're still trying to do things like that, even with humans and stuff.
Yeah.
So this is not new.
We've been joined by the Snuffy Boy.
Yeah, Snuffy Boy's here. Around the same time, the agency set up the Amazon Natural Drug Company in Peru. It acted as a channel for the agency to collect drugs for their operations. A small team of botanists gathered leaves, roots, and barks from the jungle, which were then sent back to the TSS laboratories, where they were pulverized into dust and fed to more apes to see if they were driven mad or if they would kill each other. They did both.
No wonder they're fucking endangered.
All right, then you had Operation Spellbinder, and this was to revive the less successful Operation, Mindbender. All right. The assignment was to create a sleeper killer, a real-life Manchurian candidate. A hypnotist was recruited from the American Society of Clinical and Experimental Hypnosis. This is funny. He became known amongst the agency staff as Dr. Fingers.
Dr. Fingers.
Salad Fingers is what I think.
Rock, oh my God.
All right, and this was selected because his file stated that he would have no qualms about conducting potentially terminal experiments. The intended victim of the experiment was Fidel Castro. After attempts to program several would-be assassins, the operation was discontinued and written off as a complete failure.
Good.
Was it really? Was it really? That's what they say. But now we know what they say and what they do, two totally different things most of the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right. Then we have Subproject 142 and Subproject 94. Why didn't they go in order on this?
Maybe they could. Well, of course, this is part 2, isn't it?
Yes, this is. I don't know. Like I said, the one that 404. 404.
Oh.
So, Subproject 142 was a small biological program of electrical brain stimulation involving some new approaches to the subject. The project would engage in some very practical experiments at some point in the work that would present security problems if the effort was to be handled in the usual way. So it was abnormal of abnormal? Mm-hmm. What is that? Super
extra
abnormal. Some of the work proposed for these animals.
That's like that episode of SpongeBob where the SpongeBob went to be normal, but it was abnormal. Hello, I'm normal.
It's like,
Hi, I'm
two
normal.
wrongs don't make a right, but two rights make a left.
Yeah.
Some of the work proposal for these animals would involve possible delivery systems for direct executive type action operations as distinguished from the eavesdropping application. The term executive action was the CIA's euphemism for assassination. Subproject 94 was similar. Its purpose was to provide for a continuation of investigations on the remote directional control of activities in selected species of animals. Miniaturized stimulating electrode implants in specific brain center areas will be used. So they chipped them in the brain.
Yeah.
And these projects were initially conducted on animals. Dogs, cats, and monkeys were tested as guided microphones and bombs. I did read that now, that for real, at one point that they were trying to, it was either cats or rats that they were trying to send in. I don't know.
You are not being shot out.
I did hear about that.
Snuffy Boy is not being shot out of a cannon.
No, and after successful testing of electrode implants in animals' brains, it was only a matter of time before human subjects were to be used. I remember at one point they were trying to train dolphins to plant bombs on enemy ships. That was for real.
Okay, but how the fuck? How are they going to do that without, triggering the bomb in the process?
It had some kind of safety something. I don't know if it was like a remote controlled something, but they were supposed to. It was probably had a magnetic something. I was a kid when
how many dolphins got blew up in the process?
I'd say quite a few. And the other ones, as far as the cats, I think it was cats that they had used because they thought that they wouldn't be noticed by the enemy, whoever they determined the enemy to be. And I don't remember if they had some kind of microchip or whatever. And it may have been just as far as them listening to the enemy. So some of this shit is verified.
He's not going to be a spy.
No, he's a stinky boy.
Stinky boy.
Then this was the one I had tried to find something on the other day and didn't find that much, which was Operation Often. And by 1969, TSS had been replaced by the Office of Research and Development, the AOL? ORD. Oh my God, the dyslexia has just totally gone wild. And this was as the agency's Department of the Unorthodox.
This is all unorthodox.
Hell yeah, it is. In other words, it's just the door across to the right. The most innovative and daring doctors were transferred to the ORD, and a number of bizarre and far-reaching experiments were put into action. Now, this was Operation Often, and the ORD chemical and biological team started off trying to create a deadly virus by exposing a range of already deadly bacteria to ultraviolet light.
Sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. And then that was the one that had as far as like the psychics and different things like that.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because it says palmist had already been there to consult the agency, but the agency went to considerable lengths to obtain palm prints of Fidel Castro so that then the palmist could determine what Castro's future would be.
What was that?
I don't know. Sniffy boy is sniffing me. This is going to be interesting because of what this is called. Okay. And my God, I can't read letters, let alone try on this.
Yeah, that dyslexia is really kicking your butt now, isn't it?
Well, it's not just that. This is
a bunch of shit. My God.
Switch bevel machine. Yeah.
Schwitz.
Yeah.
Schwitzenbevel.
There's no end. There's no end.
Schwitzbevel.
Switch jebel.
Schwitzgebel.
You can try it at home for yourself when you see this. Anyhow, Dr. Stephen Aldrich was set up in a safe house where a KGB defector had recently been interrogated and tortured continuously for almost 3 years so that he could experiment with a device known as this machine. This was behavioral transmitter reinforcer that was fitted to a body belt that received signals from and transmitted signals to a radio module. The machine was linked to a missile tracking device which graphs the wearer's location and displays it on a screen. It was developed by Ralph K. Yeah, that name, Switcher Gettable, in a laboratory of community psychiatry at Harvard Medical School. His brother, Robert, subsequently modified the prototype into a more refined final product. This was in 92. Oh, they've got it down to a science now.
Yeah, they definitely have it down to a science.
And supposedly, December 10th, 1972, Operation Often was canceled, which means that it was just
hidden away somewhere.
Renamed something else. And it says that all this stuff was supposed to be destroyed, right? We discussed that several times. And here it says 130 boxes was destroyed. Later discovered in the Langley archives that supposedly had mysteriously failed to be destroyed. I told you then that shit is not. There ain't nothing going down that.
Whenever they say something, it's always the opposite.
Absolutely. And then the last bit of this says in July of 1974, the Watergate scandal climaxed with the resignation of President Richard M. Nixon, and Vice President Gerald R. Ford stepped in to take the reins. I was a kid, but I sat there and I watched President Nixon board the plane after his resignation. And it was just one of those, even as a kid, I sort of kind of understood I understood about him resigning. Not sure. Watergate was confusing then. It's still confusing. And like anything else, but he did so much less that has been done since then. I mean, basically, it was his campaign had supposedly gone into the other party's campaign and looked through shit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And back then, it was a huge thing.
And
I'm
now
sure
it's not.
I'm sure there was much more to that. That was basically what's told to the public. So, anyhow, Ford, it says, immediately became aware of the scope of the CIA wholesale misbehavior. They had tried everything from blackmail, bribery, and sexual harassment to violence and murder in a genuinely horrific abuse of their privilege to classify anything they deemed fit to cover up top secret, ultra, or eyes only. Upon hearing the truth, Gerald Ford's reaction was reportedly to shake his head in disbelief and mutter, "My God, oh my God."
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think that there have been a lot of well-meaning people that have gone into positions of power, but those positions of power have a tendency to corrupt these people. And we don't know if it's a matter of them being like that one judge where somebody that was supposed to be a FedEx driver or whoever it was, and that they killed her son and husband. I mean, we think about other governments doing this shit. Mm-hmm. And for a long time, somehow we thought our government was above that. Oh, hell no. Right. They led the charge.
Yeah.
Still are.
Yep.
So, conspiracy theories, tinfoil hats for everyone on today.
Oof.
And,
oof.
You can make them festive at this time of year.
This is not just an oof. This is a Roblox oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
So, how much is true? How much is not? Half-truths. I'm like Kiska. Yeah. He's like... Phew.
He agrees with it too.
So...
He agrees with the oof.
And I have had sub-projects going on this. I have been, as far as researching Jim Jones, Patty Hearst, as far as trying to get I have not tried to get in touch with Ted Kaczynski, but going into that, on the back burner is Georgia Guidestones. Let's see what else I've got pulled up here.
You've made him slip. You've made Stinky Boy slip.
Well, I can't help
Snuffy,
that.
Stinky.
One of the other
boy.
ones is electronic dissolution of memory. So, you know, it's very easy. It's like, oh, I want to do this. I want to look at this. I want to look at this. And for some reason, I open tabs instead of writing them down, which would be much more sensible.
Or bookmarking them.
Do you know how much stuff I've got bookmarked? And then I'll look at the bookmarks and I'm going, what the hell is this? Yeah. So, anyhow. But hopefully we will be back into regular gear. Pray for us. For real. For real.
Seriously, we've been doing a little crazy.
Yeah, no.
Like
good,
legit crazy.
No good deed goes unpunished on a lot of this stuff.
Oh!
So,
Oh.
anyhow, we need prayers. Prayers of protection, especially.
Send us good vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Send us good vibes. We need the good vibes.
It'd be all right. Be all right. I spent today loading magazines.
Also, the Kiska, the Snuffy Boy, is still up for auction if anyone wants him.
Would you quit that? Quit that. He actually is doing better. It doesn't sound like it right now.
No,
but
he was actually
doing better.
When he first came in here, seriously, he was actually sounding a lot better.
Yeah. So we're working on it. The Manuka honey arrived. I already have the colloidal silver. Just didn't want to go out today, so we will get the goat milk in the next day or so. Make him a solution that is supposed to help with fungal things.
Yes.
And the Manuka honey, you can apply that externally.
He can explain it externally. Yes.
I'm going to go in here. I am going to get me a glass of Sabbath wine. I'm going to sit and watch my podcast that I enjoy on Fridays. I'm going to edit this. And tomorrow, I don't know. I may hide in the basement all day.
I'm going to hide in my room. I have my blinds closed.
So.
But.
No, I'm not hiding. No. And at some point, either I don't want to do it on the Sabbath, but Sunday, and I've got to find out as far as if it's a blue law or what, but we need to target practice a minute. 40 caliber ammo. I had called today, and it was $60-some a box. Can you believe that? That was for 50 rounds.
That's a lot, in my opinion.
Oh, hell
but,
yeah.
You know, but I don't know how to shoot a gun.
Well, you're going to learn. That's why we're going to target practice. And as far as the hip action shotgun,
give me ear protection then.
I wanted it to be pristine. And at least you can. Birdshot is like nothing, but at least it's good to practice with.
Can you at least give me like some soundproof earphones or something?
Yeah, we've got the little foam thingies that you put in your. They're actually very effective.
Because like I already struggle with my hearing. I don't need something else to damage them
fine.
even
No,
more.
I actually did get ear protectors on that.
Okay.
But I had told the guy at the, sporting goods store that the box of ammo, and it wasn't that long ago that I had gotten it, was $17 and something.
This is for hunting, not anything else.
Yes. We have fishing poles.
Yeah,
we have fishing poles, and we're going to go after more bait. And so it's a matter that the bait has increased in price greatly.
Yeah. But even though it's out of season right now, but it's not out of season for deer hunting, so actually it's in season for deer hunting.
Yes. So anyhow, we're going to cast our lines this weekend to practice casting our lines.
We're not actually going to do that. We're going to practice target practicing for the deer, and I have no idea how to shoot deer.
Well,
I don't know anything. Don't you need like a
rifle? That's rifle, not shotgun.
Well, if they're close, I think that's when you use a shotgun.
No, never, ever.
Then what animal is it that you use a shotgun for?
The two-legged kind.
Like squirrels?
For real. Anyhow.
Have you seen the people who have shot squirrels with shotguns?
Oh my God,
horrible.
It obliterates.
It's hilarious.
That's
like it's horrible. It's horrible, but it's also like, oh my God. It's like hitting the birds with the car.
Why would somebody do that?
Just for the fuck of it.
No. That's
like,
just
it's
cruel.
like, I can't help but laugh. Like, you either laugh, cry,
That's
or
cruel.
shit.
Yeah,
One of the three. I don't know.
Oh.
I have been on, like, weird sections of the internet, so...
No. Anyhow. So, if you have had experiences with paranormal, supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, project whatever it may be, that an operation whatever it may be that I'm not aware of.
Do y'all go deer hunting?
If you have fish and bait or anything like that, let us know. If you've had...
We could do ice fishing.
If you have local, regional, family, myths, legends, if you've had experiences with substances, whatever, send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, if you found a rabbit hole or whatever that that you would like us to feature, send me an email and a link on that. So know that you're appreciated. Know that you're loved. Thank you for spending some time and having coffee with us today.
I'm now hoping that our fishing poles were not stolen by a certain person.
No. Anyhow.
I think that... I don't know. I'm gonna have to go check the building for that.
Yeah, well, anyhow, I'll explain to Kid here after the video. So, you all have a beautiful, blessed day, and we'll see you on the next cut. Bye!
Don't forget to like, share, comment, most of all, subscribe, but also most of all, comment. Comment and subscribe. Please, give us those analytics.
No, I don't care about the analytics.
Give us the analytics, damn it.
I don't care about the analytics. I really don't.
Please. Bye. Y'all have a good one.
Bye!